Whenever you're considering whether you have a viable personal injury claim, there are three factors that you will need to discuss with your personal injury attorney. Those three factors are liability, damages, and whether there's a recovery source for you to pursue. All of those three things are pretty simple to understand, and we can review them quickly. Liability is simply the question of whose fault was the accident. Sometimes it's obviously one person's fault, sometimes it's not so clear, and you have to analyze who was responsible. But the bottom line is, if you're going to pursue a personal injury case, you need to be able to show that somebody else was more responsible for causing the incident than you were. Turning to damages, that's the next thing we look at. And the question there is, do you have damages that are worth pursuing? Do your damages justify filing a lawsuit over? And what I usually tell people, we're in Wisconsin, and so I usually tell people is, if you're a lineman for the Green Bay Packers and you are rear-ended and you have a sore neck for a day or two, you have a personal injury claim, but you don't have damages that are significant enough to justify starting a lawsuit. If you sued somebody over a sore neck for 2 days, most juries would not want to listen to that, and so you wouldn't want to pursue that case. And so we do assess what's the amount of the damages that are at stake here. The final thing that we look at is there a recovery source? Commonly what we're looking for there is whether there's an insurance policy that the injured party can recover from. That insurance policy can come from a number of different directions. It can come from the party that caused the accident, the other driver usually. It can also come from the injured party's own insurance coverage, if they have made plans in advance to have coverage that will cover for themselves if they're injured in an accident. And sometimes when there's no insurance policies available, we will also look beyond insurance to find out whether the party that caused the incident has any resources of their own. What I always tell people is some of the richest people in the world are Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, and they don't necessarily need to have insurance for accidents that they cause because they have so much money anyway that they can afford to pay somebody's damages. So those are the three things that we look for. I tell clients that those are like three legs of a stool. You have to have all three things, all three of those aspects to your case in order to make your case viable. But oftentimes clients don't know whether they have all of those three things present, and so we are happy to consult with people and review those three things and talk through what your case might present.